So, have you ever really thought about the return on investment for music lessons? I mean, it's about way more than just learning to play a few songs. We're going to dive into how learning an instrument, like the piano, can be one of the most powerful investments you can make in a child's future, building skills that go far, far beyond the keyboard. Okay, let's start with this quote. If you want to change the world, start by making your bed. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does that have to do with music? Well, this simple idea is actually the key to mastering any complex skill. It's not about the big final performance. It's all about the small, perfect actions you take day in and day out. So really, what's the connection between a neatly made bed and a perfectly played sonata? You know, the dream of performing on some grand stage is super exciting, but let's be real, the path to get there can feel totally overwhelming. Where do you even begin? Well, it all boils down to the power of small wins. Nailing 5 minutes of a scale, getting the fingering just right for one tricky measure, these are the made beds of music. And each tiny success builds the discipline and, just as importantly, the confidence you need to take on the next, slightly bigger challenge. All right, first up, let's peel back the layers and go beyond just the melody. What is actually going on inside the brain when someone is practicing? It's a pretty fascinating process. And trust me, it's about so much more than just hitting the right keys. What's so incredible here is that learning piano is basically a full brain workout. Your left brain, the logical side, is busy processing the structure, reading the notes, understanding the theory. But at the exact same time, your right brain is handling all the creativity, figuring out the dynamics, and expressing genuine emotion. Playing the piano literally forces these two halves of your brain to cooperate, building a stronger, more connected mind. And beyond all the technical stuff, playing music is a deep exercise in empathy. To play a piece by Schubert, for example, a student has to try and understand his melancholy. To play Bach, they have to grasp the structure and the joy. They're learning to interpret and then convey this huge range of human emotions, which builds a really high level of emotional intelligence. So now, let's talk about the journey itself. Because as we all know, the road to mastering anything is almost never a straight line, and having the right guidance can make all the difference in the world. This is a powerful cautionary tale. Just look at the data for Shirley. 8 full years of lessons, but only reached grade 2 proficiency. And the key issue, right there, an unstructured approach that was all about fun with no clear goals. It is the perfect example of how just putting in the time doesn't automatically equal progress. But in stark contrast, Faith's story shows what structure can do. I mean, look at this. She started out as a shy, hesitant student, but with a clear curriculum and real goals, she passed multiple exams, she overcame her fear to compete, and now she's confidently performing at school. And that was all in just a few years. What a transformation. Now, this is a really crucial piece of advice from a school principal with over 20 years of experience. When a child hits a wall and wants to quit, that's not the time for a parent to just step back. A child can only see the short-term frustration. The parent's job is to help them see the long-term reward. Pushing through those tough spots is absolutely essential. And this really shows that real, measurable progress depends on a partnership. It's like a 3-legged stool. You need a clear, internationally recognized curriculum. You need a great teacher who knows how to use it. And this is the crucial part. You need a committed parent who makes sure the work gets done, even when it's not easy. So, what happens when you have all 3 of those pillars locked in place? Well, let's look at the actual, tangible results. This is where all that hard work becomes real, measurable, and honestly, pretty impressive. 70%. Think about that number. That's the percentage of students from a program using this structured approach who earn either a merit or a distinction, the highest possible honors in their international exams. This isn't just about passing. This is about excelling at a seriously high standard. And the system behind these amazing achievements is ABRSM. You should think of it less like a school report card and more like a globally recognized credential. It's an objective measure of musical skill that carries weight anywhere in the world. It's the real deal. And this kind of structured training leads to concrete, verifiable success. Just take the Lumen Gauls sisters, Cher Lisa and Sar Sween. Cher Lisa has already achieved a grade 7 distinction, which is a very high level, and she's got the competition wins to prove it. The system gave them a path, and their hard work delivered these incredible results. And then, these certificates become a kind of secret weapon for things like college applications. Imagine an admissions officer looking at two students with identical academic scores. The one with an ABRSM grade 5 or higher on their application, they stand out. It's hard proof of discipline, of grit, and of the ability to see a long-term project all the way through. But this investment isn't just about childhood trophies or getting a leg up on college applications. No, its dividends pay out for a lifetime, creating skills that transfer to every other part of a person's life. Nikki's story is the perfect example of this long-term value. Her parents encouraged her to reach a solid foundation, grades 4 and 5, when she was a teen. Then she stopped for years to build her business. But when she decided to come back to music, those skills were still there, waiting for her. And now she's continuing her journey right alongside her own daughter. It's amazing. And that discipline, it builds a capacity that you can apply everywhere. Take Alexandra Patricia. She is balancing a super demanding master's degree in civil engineering at a top university while also teaching piano and preparing for her professional performance diploma. The focus and time management she learned from music are directly fueling her success everywhere else. And here's the crucial point. This isn't just an investment in a hobby. It's a full-on investment in character. The goal isn't necessarily to create a world-class concert pianist, but to use the process of learning music to forge a resilient, disciplined, and incredibly capable person. Ultimately, what all this does is it reframes music education entirely. It's not just some pastime or another extracurricular activity. It's a foundational gift. And this is the key takeaway. The notes, the melodies, the exams, they're just the medium. The real lessons are in character development. What you're really teaching is the ability to focus, the resilience to push through frustration, and the deep, deep satisfaction of seeing a difficult, long-term task through to the very end. So it leaves us with one last thought. Beyond the good grades and academic achievements, what fundamental life skills are you helping your child build? Because the discipline they learn at the piano bench today could be the very thing that helps them succeed in the boardroom or the lab or wherever their future takes them. What